Alrighty, I'm having some technical difficulties here. Let me delete the old stream so that you guys all get the message and leave that chat. That should do something. Hopefully, you guys figure it out and make it into the stream. I thought I would stream with OBS tonight because it's a better program and I can control the audio levels and stuff like that. But for some reason, I wasn't able to get the OBS stream to work. Hey guys, sorry about the confusion there. I suppose I can wait for more people to come in. I had the stream set up like beautifully. All right, so people are starting to come in. Got like 11, some of the same names. I don't want to tell the same story twice. So I'm waiting for you guys to catch up. I'm just going to drink my coffee. I wasn't paying attention to how many people were there. It was like 14 people waiting. I didn't see how many people were chatting. Hopefully y'all got the message and the alert worked. I didn't get a chance to change the thumbnail. So here's the thing. I don't think I can show this, but most people stream with OBS. It's a really good program. It lets me like independently mess with volume controls, and I won't have this like coming up and down and all that other stuff, the problems that I currently have. But I did a couple of test streams earlier tonight. It looked like everything was working. So I set up the scheduled stream. I went into OBS and I clicked go live and I said use like current stream or something like that. Clicked on the one that I wanted and I set it and I walked away. I was doing getting my coffee and my whiskey thing. I was upstairs while my coffee was brewing. I checked my phone and it wasn't live yet. And I was so frustrated. I did like a really cool thing. I could probably here, I'm going to set it up for you again. Let me see. I'll do that. I've got a folder. I'm really proud of what I did, so I'm going to show you guys. There's that. You'll see in a second. It'll all make sense. How can I? There we go. It's not going to be perfect, but you'll get it. Whoa. So I had like a countdown timer. Here, come over here. Oh, I got to share my screen. Share that screen. Oh, let me do this. There. So I had like a video ready to play in the background. And then I had a countdown timer on top. Oh, it's not going to work. Hang on. I know how to make this work. Do that. That. So it was like, it was playing like this, and I was all excited. I was like, I don't have to do the thing across the banner here. I'll put the banner on just for old time's sake. Should I sit here for 5 minutes drinking coffee? I'm gonna get this banner out of here. Alrighty. We got people here now. So I'm sorry that I screwed up the stream. I was all proud of it. And I had this video with Ronnie playing in the background. I was all proud of that too. But it is what it is. So Brett, tell me the beef that you have to pick with me. I saw that in the other chat room, so go ahead and fill me in. While everyone else is getting ready for dinner. What's up, Matt? My dinner tonight. I had some penne pasta with meat sauce, red meat sauce, and then some extra chicken on the side. So, waiting for Brent. Tell me his beef. Oh, I had a little glass of red wine too. But now I'm drinking coffee and I got my whiskey behind me for later. Waiting for the beef. Did I miss it? Oh, on your phone. Yeah, I do. I drive and I talk sometimes on video. Sue me. Let's see. Drink a Dr. Pepper. All right, so I think most people are here. How do you know that I don't use some kind of like hands-free device when I'm driving and recording videos? It is what it is. You know what's whoa. I didn't mean to do that. Oh, I want to read the caption on this one. So I was actually upstairs watching YouTube while I was getting ready to come down and stream, and in my recommendations I saw another one on the like Law and Crime Network from several months ago. It said that officers grilled this woman the morning after her she murdered her boyfriend or something like that. I started watching that one. I thought that'd be really good to go for stream, but I already announced that we're doing this one, so I'm going to stay true to my word, and we're going to do this one. So the video that we're going to go over tonight on stream is going to be this one from Code Blue Cam. It says, man calls police and ends up getting himself a ticket. These ones are always fun. So it says, on June 8th, 2022, officers responded to a business after two employees had gotten into an altercation in La Crosse, Wisconsin. An employee called the police after his colleague attempted to put their hands on him. However, it did not quite end as he expected. Then he has a disclaimer. The purpose of this feature or this featured content is to show law enforcement interaction. It's not to publicly shame, ridicule, or degrade the individuals. We're just gonna go up to there. Well, Spence, them stopping doing the introductions or the intro recently is going to work out for me on stream because it gets super loud. So let's get into the video. This one's only 15 minutes long. I think we're going to do a couple tonight.
2022, officers responded to a business after two employees had gotten into an altercation in La Crosse, Wisconsin. Based on information obtained from witnesses, it appeared one of the employees, Eric Sims, showed up to the business highly aggravated and began yelling at the owner. The owner's son, Joshua Redenbaugh, addressed the issue by telling Eric to leave and escorting him off the property. Eric then tripped down a few steps and scraped his arm on a vehicle, claiming Josh pushed him out of the building.
Heather, how you doing? Good. Get out of the road and we'll talk over there. Thanks. Here, Eric?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Incident today at the office here?
Yes, I want him arrested.
Okay, well, I need to know what happened.
All right. The owner called me about a call I did this morning. And she's trying to say that I could have towed the car. I tried to explain to her why I couldn't and that the owner of the vehicle did not want me to tow it with my truck because I have a record 4x4. She wanted a flatbed. She got mad, hung up on me. I'm at the other office. I just got off at 8 o'clock. I came over here to try to...
I love it when... Oh, I should have made that bigger. I'm such a horrible live streamer. It was kind of funny, like right off the rip, because the officer goes over, he's like, hey, did you call? And the first thing out of his mouth is like, yeah, I want him arrested. People think that we're just going to run around and start arresting people because you say so. And then they have to go into this like long drawn out story about what happened. Like, I really don't care about your tow truck and what kind of tow truck you drive or whatever. I want to know why you think that this other person needs to be arrested. Like, get to the point.
Coming over here to talk. I got to the door. I was yelling at her. Her son came running out of the bathroom, jacked me up on my shirt, and told me to get the fuck out of there. He grabbed me by my shirt and pushed me off of the steps and pushed me into the truck that's right next to the steps. And then I had to hit the truck. And then he grabbed my phone, slammed my phone on the ground. I went to go grab it, said I was calling the police. He grabbed my phone again, then he grabbed me by my shirt and holding my phone like that. I told him, I said, you're going to jail now. That's an assault. You'll see there's a big dent in the truck.
Okay. All right. Let me talk to this guy quick, and then I'll be right back with you.
And this is not the first time with her son is always getting our.
One of my favorite misconceptions, at least this is the way Ohio law is written, is people will call in and say, so and so put their hands on me. I want them arrested because they put their hands on me. Putting your hands on somebody is not a crime of assault. Cause or attempt to cause harm to another person is assault. If you're just putting your hands on something, you're trying to push them around, get them out of your way, get them out of the building or something like that. That's not an assault. And especially like a big guy like this with tattoos all over him, he should be a little bit tougher. Like, people need to learn how to deal with a little bit of conflict. And sometimes you're going to have a little bit of physical conflict. It doesn't mean that somebody needs to go to jail.
Irate, getting in people's faces and everything. She can't even deal with him. I didn't put my hands on nobody. I didn't do none of that. And he fucking just snatched me and fucking threw me right off the steps. He went way beyond what he fucking.
Hello. You Josh? Hey, you Josh?
Yes.
Mind if I talk to you real quick?
Other employees claim they didn't see any sort of physical altercation and that they had issues with Eric before.
So Sue, the owner, been dealing with some drama that he caused last night. I can't really speak to that because that's what she's dealing with. I was in the back room doing some stuff. He comes in the office and instantly, nothing out of his mouth but screaming, just instant screaming, top of his lungs. I step out there, and Shay, the other officer guys out there, he asked him immediately, you need to go. You need to go outside. We will deal with this later. Continued to scream and be in our face. So we opened the door, asked him to leave, guided him out like this.
Okay.
And then so he walked down the stairs. He tripped on the stairs.
These stairs here?
No,
Oh.
in the garage.
Okay.
He tripped on the stairs, kind of stumbled, dropped his phone, and that was that. And then we continued to tell him to go out the back door. He continued to do the same thing.
They have cameras. I wonder if these cameras work. I wonder if we're going to see the camera footage of him being thrown down the stairs. And thanks, Brent, for the super chat, even though you're mad at me for recording a video while driving.
Kind of stay in our face, not want to go anywhere. Got him out the back door, shut the door, and just told him, don't bother coming back. And that was it. We've had issues with him yelling before. We've had issues with him being violent before. A while ago, he actually almost ran me and Shay over with his car.
Okay. You came in. You heard the screaming. You came in from the garage. You heard the screaming.
Just up front, in the bathroom area.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So you came out. You said, whatever this issue is, we'll have to take care of it later.
Yeah, we can't deal
yeah,
with people screaming. Yeah,
right.
exactly. I just said, you just need to go.
What was he screaming at you then when you asked him to leave?
I'm not going anywhere. Along those lines. I'm not going anywhere.
Did he swear or threaten anything?
There might have been some swearing in there.
And there was no physical altercation whatsoever?
No, but like I said, we were touching each other because we were in each other's face, and we were both walking down the steps, and he's a bigger guy, and he kind of tripped over his feet.
And when he tripped, did he fall to the ground?
He fell against the vehicle out there, I believe.
No threats to you, no physical violence to you?
I don't recall any threats, but again, I just wanted him out.
Sure.
And to be honest with you, he's a problem. He's a felon.
Okay.
I know he's had past issues in the past. I've given him as many chances as
Alrighty, so does Connor have to leave? Unfortunately, I got to run to pick up some food. Connor, you always show up and then leave, so I don't know what to say about that. But see you later. I just always notice that. It's bad timing for you. I apologize. And I lost my train of thought. Oh, well, so far, and I think somebody has already pointed this out, this is kind of like a he said, she said situation where we have two people telling dramatically different stories about what happened, and we have to determine kind of either who's telling the truth or where does the evidence lead. There's no camera footage or anything that we've been told about so far. This guy is describing that the other guy is a problem, that they asked him to leave, and that when they asked the other guy to leave, he tripped and fell and harmed himself while doing so. The original caller is saying that he was assaulted and that they intentionally caused harm to him. So now the officers, having talked to people on both sides of the argument, have to determine if the caller's injuries are consistent with someone who was assaulted, or if they look like they could have been caused by someone who fell down. And it'll make the determination on whether or not they're going to file charges today, or they're just going to probably refer the caller to the prosecutor's office and have him file charges on his own. That's just an extra step that we take sometimes to say, hey, look, if you're serious enough about filing charges, even though the officers don't necessarily find the evidence at scene, by you taking that extra step, filling out a sworn statement and doing all that stuff at the prosecutor's office, that gives you a little bit more validity, and they might go ahead and file the charges for you. So see where it goes now. I think it's going to go bad for the caller. I'm just curious how.
I can. Honestly, the only reason he's still here is because I said let's give him a fair shake and a chance. 8:30 in the morning.
Oh, that was the other thing I wanted to talk about is how people, like he said, oh, we've been having problems with him for years. He's a felon, all this other stuff. This is the kind of stuff that we get with baby daddy drama, like very frequently. I just had one the other day where a woman was with some guy. They lived in this house for like a long period of time. Somehow he got a protection order against her. She met us down the road. She wanted to get her belongings. She didn't understand how that process worked. But we told her, like, listen, you have to schedule this through the courts. You can't go in and get your belongings right now. He has a protection order against you. You're not allowed to go into that house. And, if we really wanted to push the issue, you would be violating that protection order right now. And that's when she started screaming, well, he's a felon. He's got guns in there. He's a dope boy. He hangs out with killers, all this other stuff. And it's like, you know what? You got kids with this guy. You've been with him for years. You knew all that stuff like a long time ago. The only reason you're bringing it up right now is because you're angry. That's the same thing with this guy, talking about how they've known him for years. He's always been a problem. He's a felon. You're just trying to say something to make the officer think that you're a better person. It's annoying, and we can see through it. Those are my thoughts on that. Zach, very much for the thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate that. I saw it a second ago, but I was just trying to stay on track. Oh, we have a real celebrity here. This is Dave, Spartan Elite 43. He used to read my weekly crime statistics on the body camera channel when I would put those out on Saturdays. Thanks for stopping by, Dave. Let's go back to this.
Morning, coming in instantly screaming at the owner, who's also a woman. I just don't understand where someone thinks that's okay. And that was it. Sure.
Can you just give me the rundown what happened on your version of the story?
So I was sitting at my desk with the back to the door. All of a sudden that flips open. He comes in screaming, yelling about whatever him and Sue were talking about for hours on the phone. He's been this guy before where he comes in hot and we tell him he's got to leave. And he's very confrontational.
Okay.
So we started telling him, because I know the mechanic said, he's like, you guys, right away, you got between him and Sue and said, you need to leave. He's like, you guys both told him multiple times, you need to leave. And he didn't. So we're like, Eric, you got to get the hell out of here. Just get out of the fucking building. Okay. So then they start walking back out the back, trying to get towards the back door. And I told him, like, Eric, you can't be out here anymore. We can't have you on property anymore. You need to step off past the curb. So we can't have you on our premises anymore. Okay. If you do it again, you're trespassing.
Okay.
5 minutes later, he's back on property and all that, but that's not my thing.
Do we know what the issue was that happened that he's so upset about?
He's that guy. He just
got criticized for something he did last night?
As far as I understand, with like the tow calls and shit, he's just very confrontational. When people send him stuff, it's not convenient for him. He's that kind of guy.
Okay.
So he takes everything personal and then blows it way out of proportion. This is, I don't know how many number of times he's come in, screaming and yelling at people, or out on the back stoop, having shouting matches with people. It's been an issue.
Was there any physical altercation, like any fighting, anything like that?
No fighting. Nobody threw any punches or anything. I know when they were going out the back door, it was like, hey, you need to leave,
Right.
and he backed out, and you saw the steps.
Okay.
I don't know if anything on the back steps out in the back or anything, but once we got him outside, I kind of tried to stay between people and just keep a buffer.
Was anyone else involved, or was it just Eric, you, and Josh?
It was Eric and Josh. We kept him away from Sue, so we just kept buffer, and then once him and Josh were arguing, I stepped between to keep that from escalating.
Okay. All right, I appreciate your time.
Yeah.
All right, thanks.
And then he snatched my phone from me.
And your phone was in your hand?
Yes.
Okay. Why did he take your phone?
Because I said I was calling the police.
So this is the part where it gets kind of interesting as a police officer, because you talk to this guy first and then you went and talked to your suspect, and then you went and talked to an independent witness. And the thing that the suspect is saying, or his explanation of events, and the thing that the witness is saying are very consistent. So now you're going to go back to your victim and you're going to start to question him based on what you heard from the witness and the suspect in this case, and try to see if he is going to have any inconsistencies in his story.
I even tried to sit there and talk to him after he fucking put his hands on me, and he was still going on and yelling and cussing at me. Because when I was at the door and he pushed me, I went like this and slammed into the truck.
Okay.
There's
like
a
how
huge
far away
dent.
from you were you from the truck when he pushed you?
About 4 feet, and I kept my composure. I didn't put my hands on him. I wanted to punch him in the shit, but I know better.
Yeah. Okay. Let me go talk to this other officer here, and I'll be right back with you.
Brent, thank you very much for another super. I really do appreciate that. I thought one thing that was funny, and this is kind of like a tell for people, is he kept saying, I kept my composure. I kept my composure. He's basically telling the officers that he lost his shit, and he's trying to preemptively strike against what he believes people are going to be saying against him.
So essentially, you came here yelling and screaming. You're upset with Sue. I get it. That's not acceptable behavior. It doesn't excuse what happened with Josh. So essentially, if you want to pursue charges, then you're also going to be charged with disorderly conduct. They don't want to pursue charges against you, but you can't come into a place of work yelling and screaming and causing a scene.
Disorderly conduct for a place that I work? Okay, do what you guys got to do.
Okay. Is that what you want done?
Whatever. I mean,
okay.
They should never put their hands on me. If you're going to charge, that's stupid. You're going to charge me disorderly conduct for me yelling, but
that's disorderly conduct. I don't know. Coming into a place of work, screaming and yelling and making.
You know how many days every day that he comes in yelling and screaming at all the employees?
Okay, that doesn't excuse your behavior. I mean,
okay, no problem.
Is that what do you want to be charged with that and have him charged as well, or
it don't matter? You can go ahead. We both can go to jail. Can I park my car?
Okay. I'll have to make a phone call. I don't think anybody's going to go to jail, but you can be charged with it.
Hey, you want to come down here and get my car? Because now they're talking about that I have to go to jail.
You don't have to go to jail. You guys can get a signature bond. You don't have to go to jail.
I'm on probation.
Okay. So you still don't have to go to jail.
I want him to go to jail. What he fucking did, put his hands on me and slam me in the chalk.
Okay.
You guys are not going to arrest him?
I love it when you have like a hothead who wants to play the victim, and when he's not getting the attention from the police officer for being a victim, that's when he starts calling people. He's not calling someone to come get this car. He's calling somebody because he wants to yell and scream that he's a victim, and he wants someone to feel sorry for him. I see these people all day long. I can't stand them.
That's bullshit.
You know where he fell into it? I would assume he's claiming he was pushed into the truck. My guess would be probably right here where I can see this rubbed. Okay. So yeah, he's claiming that he was pushed and he wants to press charges, but we're explaining to him that if he wants to press charges, we're going to charge him with disorderly conduct right back because this thing all started because he came in here, all pissed off.
And if that's the case, I have more stuff.
Right.
I mean, he's a felon. He's trying to sell me weapons. He's got guns in his possession. I'm not trying to go down that rabbit hole. I just want him gone.
Right. No, that's what I told. I told my partner that you guys just want him gone, and just want to cut ties, I guess. So,
yeah. I would have never even had to guide him out if he would have just left like I asked. He continued to scream. He couldn't even step back here.
Right.
And then he stood here.
Right.
Didn't even after that point when he tumbled, or not tumbled, but when he kind of tripped over his feet, I just backed away. Didn't want to touch him anymore. He stood here for a few more minutes. And then eventually, Shay was able to get him to step outside.
Based on Eric's conduct of yelling and causing a disturbance, and Josh becoming physical with him, both were issued a $187 citation for disorderly conduct.
That's my girlfriend. She works there. She's the manager here.
Okay.
She can even tell you how he fucking acts every day and treats people. She's even looking for another job.
Okay. All right. So just based on the information we're getting inside and based on the totality of what happened here today, nobody is getting arrested for this or has to get arrested for this. You don't have to get arrested. He doesn't have to get arrested. What we're going to do is we're going to issue you both a disorderly conduct ticket.
How are you gonna? He put his hands on me, so you're not.
This is a weird one for me. Charging them both with disorderly in this situation, I don't know. That's weird. Like back when I was new, we used to show up on like a domestic violence call, and both people would be high or drunk and beating the crap out of each other, and it was clear that they both had injuries, and it was just an absolute shit show. There was more than one occasion that I arrested both parties in a domestic violence call, take them both to jail because I couldn't determine which one was at fault, but they were both guilty. So we took them both to jail. After a few years, we were told to stop doing that. We were told that the best course of action, if you believe that they're both equally guilty, then it means that they're both kind of equally not guilty. And we were supposed to take a report, separate the parties, and then let them follow up as needed. This situation, man, disorderly conduct. I can't see charging the guy who was in the shop. I don't understand charging him with disorderly conduct for making this guy leave if this guy was causing a problem. That's really strange to me. And then Mike, I think, asked the question, how much of what we do is just dealing with adults who act like children? And that's 99% of the problem. I'm trying to think of, I didn't have that many runs, but it's just like 99% of the time. Like yesterday I was sent on a gun run, and it was male in a, I won't describe the vehicle, but male in this vehicle. They gave a description of the guy, said that he brandished a firearm, said he showed them that he had a firearm in his car while he was driving. And then when I scroll down a little bit, it says, "This is all because my husband honked my horn at him." And it's like, okay, so you have two people that are angry with each other and acting out of anger. And since they're mad at each other, it's like a race to see who can be the first one to call the police. I don't know. That's like 99% of what it is that we do.
I can arrest him for him
you.
putting his hands on me.
I'm not today, no. Just based on the
Okay, can I have your supervisor come out, please?
Yeah, I'll give him a call after.
Oh, this is gonna get good. But again, it's like, you're not going to arrest him for putting his hands on me. Putting your hands on somebody is not a crime. Attempting to cause physical harm to another person is a crime. And then when you say, get your supervisor out here, I think the guy said that they were going to do that. But in this kind of situation, no, I wouldn't. I even had a guy, it was kind of a long story, but he was demanding that we arrest this woman that was in his house, and we were basically, it was his baby mama, and she doesn't have a car. He drove to the other side of town the night before, picked her up, brought her back to his place, and they did what people do when you pick someone up at 3 or 4 in the morning. And then at like 10 a.m., he wanted her out of the house, and she was refusing to leave. She didn't have a car, and he wasn't going to drive her. So he called us and wanted us to arrest her for trespassing for not leaving his place. No, we weren't going to do that. And then it got really funny because he was so mad at us. And this guy was big. He's like 6'5", 6'6", probably close to 400 pounds. He admitted that he was a gang member and he's done serious time and all this other stuff. And I believe one of the things he said to me was like, "Bitch, you don't know who you're talking to," in which I kind of laughed, and we had a little talk about if I was hiding behind my badge or not. I offered him the opportunity to come and take it from me. It was one of those conversations. He got really mad, and he kept calling. He was calling back to 911, demanding that a supervisor come out to the scene. And the dispatcher was coming on the air saying, "Hey, Sarge, we've got a guy at where Ben has his run. He's calling in, demanding that a supervisor come out because the officers are not doing what he wanted." And Sarge gets on the air, and he's like, "Do you guys need anything?" I said, "I'll call your cell." So I called his cell, said, "Hey, here's what happened. He wants us to arrest her." I told him that I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to drag her out of the house because she's really emotional and it's going to be a fight. And Sarge said, "You know what? I agree with that. I'm not coming out. You can handle it." This crap where you get to demand a sergeant, that doesn't fly. So back to the issue at hand. Let's see what happens now.
Go fucking stand over there. Get away from me.
Oh.
Stand over there.
I just got written up for swearing at people.
Hey, go fucking stand over there. Get away from me. Go stand over there. Go stand over there and stop running your mouth. Just don't listen to him. Just don't listen.
I would like to do whatever I need to do.
Yeah, I know.
He just threatened me in front of the office.
No trespass. No.
Yes.
Well, why did you come out here though? And go?
Okay. I have text messages. If that's the route it's going to be, that's the route it's going to be. I'm done.
Hey, Eric, I don't mean to blow up like that, but I don't want some violent situation to arrive from this jaw jacket, and you're telling him that you know his.
I didn't say nothing.
Okay.
But you see how he came over and
Yeah, I understand. And I told him if you guys have beef, that he needs to just stay in the building, okay? But you also have a responsibility, okay? Because we're here because you came here. Just that's straight up. I mean, regardless of what happened inside.
I work here. That's why.
Well, you know
he
what I'm
had
saying?
no right putting his hands on me or slamming me into a truck.
Okay. All right.
And I had bruising and everything.
Yep. And obviously, like, we don't have the cameras to determine one or another, and that's why he's getting a DC ticket. But you're also getting a DC ticket for the things you've said and the way you're.
I'm getting a ticket for something I said.
Yeah. Officer Maskey told you.
Yeah, but that sounds petty as fuck, though.
Well, this whole thing sounds petty.
That's petty that he put.
There's the truth of the situation. This whole thing sounds petty. It is petty. You're two grown men that can't handle your differences, and you're fighting about it, and which is fine. If you guys are going to fight, don't call the police about it. Learn how to deal with your own problems. This is a situation. These officers are charging everybody. I don't know what the court system is like in La Crosse, Wisconsin, but I would get in trouble if I charged both people in this situation.
His hands on me?
If you've been fired and you're not supposed to be here, you can.
I was not fired. I was fired after the fact.
Oh, I was told that you had already been fired.
No, I was fired after the fact.
Okay, all right, sounds good. So, like we said before,
is your supervisor coming out?
He's not able to come out right now, but you can call in if you want and talk to somebody. Okay, I called him. I ran the situation by him. He's not able to come by, but he said he's willing to talk to you about it if you need to. So you can call in.
Yeah, but you guys are not taking him to jail for putting his hands on me.
Okay.
So that's what you guys do is just let people fucking push people.
Not in general. We have to take into the totality of the circumstances. Okay, you can't come to a business.
Sir, I work here.
I get you, but it doesn't
they were
excuse
yelling
your
at me.
conduct. Okay, and then you can walk away and call the police or things like that. But things escalated to the point they did because of how you acted. Okay.
Yeah, but did you see how he acted like a little fucking bitch? You
I
can't
didn't.
run
I was in my car.
Oh my god, he threatened me.
Okay. So I'll arrange with them a way for you to get your stuff out of there. I gotta issue the ticket here, Eric. Okay, it's for disorderly conduct.
That's really bullshit, petty ass shit you're doing, right?
Okay, that's cool. Here's your ticket.
What I'm saying, what's your name?
Officer Maskey. We're not gonna go through this whole thing.
And you're giving me a citation for me yelling.
For disorderly conduct.
For disorderly conduct, you're giving me a ticket for yelling, correct?
Yes.
La Crosse Police Department. And you're not going to take him to jail for putting his hands on me.
Not under the circumstances.
And pushing me.
No, Eric. We've already gone over this, and we don't need to re-record it.
I just want it on video.
If you want a copy of the video, I got it.
He's like, I just want it on video. This is the part where I get myself into trouble because I don't know. I would have probably said something like, "No, you being a bitch does not mean that I'm taking him to jail. It's like you're not hurt. You're fine. You went in there causing all this trouble. There was just more of them than there were of you." God, these people are annoying. Honestly, what I would have done in this situation is we would have separated them. We would have told him to leave, would have trespassed him from the location. We might have walked in with him to get his stuff, depending on how much stuff he had. Just told him not to come back. I would have taken a report with all the information on it, given them both the report number and told them both to follow up with the prosecutor's office if they wanted to. I'm not filing charges out of something like this. Like they're not worth the extra paperwork that I'd have to do. In La Crosse, Wisconsin, they might not have a lot of extra paperwork to do. They might, because they have printers in their cars. It looks like they might just be able to print off that complaint and hand it to them. I'm not going through all that work for them. Like, and this is all something that is all going to get dismissed in the court anyway. So it's just not worth it because they're not going to go and cooperate, testify against each other. They're going to drop it. So I don't know. I would have been gone by now.
Right here. All right, no problem, because that's petty as fuck. You guys are bullshit for doing. All right. Do you want help getting your stuff over there or no? Okay. Well, we're not gonna help you then. Not if you're acting like that.
Yeah, but you guys let him fucking act like that.
Eric,
Put his hands on
get
me.
in your car and drive away, okay? Things are done here.
That's just bullshit.
Eric, just drive away. You can get your stuff later, okay? We're not gonna go about this when you're angry.
Well, I want you only the fucking supervisor.
I told him about it. He's aware of it. You can call him.
So what's his name? How am I gonna call? I don't know who the fucking
Sergeant
supervisor.
Taft. You just call the police department phone number. You can find it on Google. Okay.
Do you enjoy our content and want to see more?
Code Blue Cam, I do enjoy your content and I do want to see more. Delete this. Yeah, that was just a situation where the dude's just mad that the police didn't do what he wanted them to do. So then it's like, F you police. Those are the majority of my IA complaints that I've ever had over the years were situations just like that, where I show up, I do my job. The people who called are upset that I didn't do what they wanted me to do. So they call internal affairs on me. That guy's just a baby. They were both babies, but the other guy was able to kind of keep his cool a little bit longer. What? There was another video I saw I was going to go over next. Oh, someone suggested I go over this one. This is going to be, man, there's two videos that I was thinking about pulling up. They both might get this stream age restricted. So I'm kind of torn. Let me see who is going on here. Yeah. That is spoken by someone that knows a little bit of something about police work. Misdemeanor occurring not in your presence, no domestic violence relationship between the parties. Do a report and have them refer to the DA for a screening. That's very similar to what we would do in my jurisdiction. It's funny that you use a slightly different language, but the exact same process. Where is that one? Travis. Oh yeah, he did have a girlfriend. I was about to say, like, you're being generous, assuming that he has a girlfriend, but I don't really know. I think I got all the good ones I saw. So let's see here. Where to go from here? Because there was also one on. Oh, Dave, you taking off? See you later, man. Dave streamed a long time today on his gaming channel. If you're into like battleship games and stuff, Spartan Elite 43's YouTube channel is a really good channel. I watch him daily. I don't catch his streams very often because now I do this and I'm always busy, but I used to catch him. Dave helped me a lot when I started on YouTube, helped teach me a lot of things. So have a good night, Dave. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see. So for the next video, should we do this guy? I'm sure you guys have seen it. Somebody recommended this. Oh, it doesn't. I don't like how the thumbnail goes away. This one where a guy flees his traffic stop and crashes his vehicle. Or there was one from Cleveland area police where a woman was arrested after pooping on herself. What do you guys want to do? Where's that video? Right here. I'm kind of voting on pooping on yourself. The other one is more of a learning moment. This one is just kind of hilarious. Both. I don't know if I have time for both, Spence, because I jibber jabber too much. Not to poop. Mike has voted. This is where the votes are, so we're going with it. I'm going to skip ahead to where the body camera starts. I only watched about a minute of this. I don't even know what she's arrested for. Let me see what the description says. Oh, she was just charged with disorderly. See, he puts more in his descriptions than I do.
want her in here? I want you to come and get me. She doesn't want you in here. Leave right now. You're trespassing.
One thing that's kind of frustrating about this is you don't know how this interaction began. Like what brought the officer to this location? Was he driving by? Did somebody call? I'm sorry. My dog snuck in under my desk and I just kicked him in the head. So yeah, we don't know why the police were called here. I'm going to go out on a limb and say that she was out here causing problems so that somebody got called on her. Let's see.
Can I use your phone? No. You don't have a public phone. I'm going to give you the opportunity to leave and you can walk away or I'm going to arrest you. You already arrested my family and you're under charge for... I have no idea who your family are. I have no idea who you are. You don't know me either. Why would you talk to me? Are you going to leave? Yes or no? I want his phone number to the police. I'm calling the police on you. Where'd you from? What's your name? What's your number?
I don't understand. Like, I've been really hammered before. Here, I'll try to turn up the volume. You're the first person to bring it up. I just don't want it to echo into my mic. I don't understand what it's up with people who think that they can start pushing officers around when they get a little bit drunk. When you start putting your hands up like that, you're going to get snatched. I don't know. I don't know if it's because a lot of officers are afraid to physically control people in this day and age. I don't hesitate. Like, you put your hands up like that, I'm going to grab that wrist. And you're going to know who's in charge. Let's put it that way.
Can't put your phone number to the police. On you. Where'd you from? What's your badge? What's your number? Write it down. Write it down. I'm under. Just put your hands on me. Assault.
Yeah, so he did a good job. Like, as soon as she like it seemed off because I paused it too many times. But basically, as soon as she started putting her hands on him, he grabbed her. Now he's saying that's assault. That's not assault. That's not assault that's going to fly anywhere. But you can't be letting people put their hands on you like that. So you can just go ahead and cuff her up for being drunk. There's nothing wrong with that.
Can't push. You can't push law enforcement up to you. Shouldn't that? Call my fucking piano. You are under arrest. I'm trying to be nice. You're about to be prosecuted because I was already here. Ma'am? You have to prosecute. No. My bag. Man, did you get my bag? 14 and ready on. Man. I'm taking her into custody. Fuck you, don't touch my shit. You ain't touching my shit. Oh, you fucking bitch. 14 is right here in custody. Quit throwing me around. Yeah, I'm taking custody. No, stop. Oh, he pressed me what? Copy. Any of you can bring control over. Ma'am? Please don't call. Stop. Ma'am?
I thoroughly enjoy people who are so drunk and they pull themselves away so many times that they end up getting themselves hurt or they throw themselves on the ground. And when they do so, they accuse you of doing it. That's what she's doing here. And those, I mean, I enjoy watching other people go through it. When I'm going through it, it makes me incredibly angry. It is what it is. I know Darcy earlier said that you're 20 and you have a birthday coming up. Everyone's wishing you happy birthday. I also want to wish you a happy birthday. If you're 20 now and your birthday is coming up, hopefully that means you're 21 and you weren't rounding up when you said that you were 20. So you might have to clarify that one for us. Is it 21 on Friday or is it, oh, there it is, 21. There's a little delay in the chat. So happy birthday. I'm glad that you made it. If you're in the UK, that means it's very late for you. And I really appreciate you staying up this late to watch one of my live streams. I don't know. It's pretty cool that people like hanging out with me that much. Although when you're hanging out here, you're not necessarily hanging out with me. You're hanging out with the group in chat. That is probably one of the friendliest chat rooms I have ever seen in my entire life of being on the internet. So welcome aboard. It's good to see you. I hope you enjoy yourself. So let's get back to our drunk lady.
Ma'am, listen.
21 or 20.
Ma'am. Let's just send a squad up here. This may be a mental condition. Fuck you.
Okay.
Ma'am?
Stop pulling up.
Okay. I'm going to have a squad check you out, okay?
You're going to jail, bitch.
I'm going to jail?
You're going to jail, bitch.
You going to arrest me?
Yeah, bitch.
Okay.
Fuck you.
Okay.
My God.
You're what?
You're about to go to jail, bitch.
Okay.
Get me up.
No. No, you're going to stay here.
No, you're not pushing me down.
63 radio.
Oh, you're not pushing me.
I'm not pushing you down, but you're going to stay here.
That was supposed to be here half an hour ago. Just called and said it's going to be another hour in St. Rich's. She's getting to her residence. She went for it.
I think she has a Bible in her purse, and I don't think she's been reading it. I don't think I can rewind properly.
Okay, you just hang tight, okay?
I copied all of it up until the last part of it. You said to call Rich's and what else?
I like this right here. Just lay like that with your face on the ground. That's amazing.
She's going to her residence with the vehicle, and she has the money to pay for it.
What he is doing right here is a lot of body cameras have a little swivel for the lens. He's pushing his swivel down so that he can make sure that he's capturing this on body camera, probably so he can tell his buddies about it later. I don't know how long it goes with this part. I want to fast forward, but I'm not sure. Oh, he was looking at the poop. I think there's a nugget. So he checks his boots. He checked his boots to make sure he didn't have poop on him.
Will you stop?
Fuck you, man. Bitch. You motherfucking homie is a fucking.
I'll be out here.
Oof.
That is what. Fuck you.
For last four, no, clear. She was decided.
That's some shit. Rocky, you arrested.
119.
That's ma'am. She just crapped her. Sorry, she's got no panties on. She's crapped
No. Guys. Duh. Oh, thank God he changed directions. This is horrible.
Where? Planet Fitness place in that day.
Oh, I never been to Planet Fitness.
Okay. Yeah, I've never dealt with her before. Okay. Okay, but she's please, but I know. But you're gonna be on welfare, bitch. Okay, that's fine. I have no idea. Yeah, you can look at her, but like I say, just she's crapping herself. This is her MO. She gets drunk and comes to the show. Is it? Okay. Yes. No, I know. And you're in handcuffs. Yes. You are too? Yes, I'm a woman. Fucking. She may just. I think I got information. She just crapped herself. She's got no panties on, so it's
The dude over there is like, he's like, don't point that thing at me. Oh, how would you like to be known as the lady that gets really drunk and craps herself like every Thursday night? Um, God, I can't imagine the embarrassment.
she was laying down on the sidewalk, came over, tried to get into somebody's car. She goes in here demanding to use their phone. They said no, they want her to leave. She won't leave. Then she started pushing me, so I put her in cuffs, brought her out here, and she crapped herself and laid down. What's your name? What happened? I want to know his bad number. You're going to end up getting in that crap. Okay. Let's. Oh my God. What's his bad number? We'll get it to you. What's going on? I'm not going to tell her it's 14. Tell her it's 14.
Oh. Yeah, I understand that, Travis. This is one where I wouldn't have called a medic in this situation. I would have just picked her up and stuffed her in a car. I don't know, but like when I did have one that was, completely naked and had been rolling in her own poop, and she was just covered from like here down. In that case, the medics were actually really cool. She was way more far gone than this one, but they just showed up, wrapped her in a sheet, threw her on the cot, and were like out of there. It's one of those things where I always feel really bad having to call them, but their equipment was a lot easier to use than ours was in that situation. This woman, she's just a drunk idiot, and she could get stuffed in a car. I wouldn't have probably called a medics in this situation.
All that stuff was hers. No, we didn't go through that. Have you guys ever dealt with her before?
Yes. Like if I take someone to jail and they get stuff in my car, we can have a runner come out. We'll ask the deputies, and the deputies will get somebody for us. I've only had to do that a couple of times. Usually it's people puking in the back of the car or pissing in the back of the car. But the ones that where I've had to clean out the car weren't people I took to jail. So we have a spot down at headquarters. You can pull in the basement, spray some bleach in there and hose it out. And then we got a mop. I'll just mop it out. Yeah, but we can have inmates do it.
It's 14. No, if he's a squad, the first. I will. I already got a case against you.
All right, I think it's about enough for her. Yeah, there's not much else. Oh, what a mess. Travis, you said something about kids, and then Spencer said something about taking care of kids. It reminded me, I'm going to pull this one up while I talk. There was a run that went out today. It said, what did it say? Caller's daughter is, they think that caller thinks her daughter is dead in the basement. And then there was another call saying that she thinks that the child's father and his new girlfriend had something to do with it. And they are currently sitting on the couch in the living room. And the dispatcher was like reading these updates. And I remember thinking like, oh my God, like I don't want to go on this dead 10-year-old in the basement. Like this is horrible. I have a 10-year-old. I don't want to deal with this right now. And I looked at my buddy. There was already 2 cars marked on it, and there was a third car that was right around the corner that was going to go. And I was like, you know what? If they need us, they can call us. If not, I'm not going down on that. And I walked into the sub, had to use the restroom anyway. And one of the guys that was in there, he's like, "What's the address?" We told him the address, and he started laughing. He was like, "Oh yeah, she's absolutely insane. She she says that she can hear her children talking through like the sky camera or something like that." And luckily, when the officers got there, there was no children that were harmed, and she was just crazy. But man, that really like scared the crap out of me. That was terrifying. Let's see. AF Ohio Patriot says, "Hey Ben, hope you're doing well. I'm always late to your lives. About to work out. Well, enjoy your workout, buddy. Come watch the replay. I think your workout is more important. I did not work out today. I do not work out on Wednesdays. That's why I live stream on Wednesdays." What's the congratulations? What did I miss? Oh, down 16 pounds. That's awesome. I don't know what you started at. I've been posting my weight on Instagram every day in the morning in my story. I started at 227 the other day, and I was down to 219.8 this morning. Although today is a non-workout day, and I kind of ate like crap, so I think tomorrow I'm probably gonna be back up to 222. But I'm kind of back on the weight loss thing, so we shall see. Start at 226. Oh, down to 210. Well, you got me beat. It's gonna be, my goal is to get down to 205, but that's gonna be a tough one for me because I'm a fairly big guy. Like I've got to lose another 15 pounds to get there. That's gonna be a tough one for me. I can probably do it. I'm transitioning away from my lifting so much, starting to do more running. I've been running 3 miles a day, 4 days a week. And shortened my lifting sessions to like 20 minutes before my run. So we'll see. We've reached a halfway point in the live stream. So this is where I drink my whiskey. I'm going to do this. Yeah, move to Florida. It'll happen. Whew. I'm not a fan of Florida. It's too hot down there. I mean, I love it. Florida is awesome. It's an awesome place to visit. I couldn't live there. That's just me being honest. The whiskey for today is Bardstown Brewery Company Discovery Series. They put out, this is a relatively young distillery, just outside of Louisville, Kentucky, in a town called Bardstown, which is where a lot of the distillers are. It's a relatively young distillery. They just reached 4 years old, so they just started bottling their own product. They do, their 2 main products are a, see, this is the Discovery Channel. They also, Discovery Series. They also do a fusion series. They are blended bourbons where they take bourbons from different distilleries and different ages, mix it with their stuff, put it in the bottle to a flavor profile that they like. The blue labeled one is cheaper than the red label one. I don't remember how expensive the red label one is. It might be in that $100 range. I can't remember. This particular one is 111 proof. And the cool thing they do is on the side of the bottle, they tell you what the mix is. So this is 68% of an 11-year Kentucky bourbon, 16% of a 17-year Tennessee whiskey, and then 16% of an Indiana 7-year. That Indiana 7-year is going to be MGP, which is distilled in the old Seagram's family of distilleries, if you guys didn't know that. But there's the build. Oh, I'm going to spill it. I might still do one more, St. George, so hang tight. I just thought that I reached an appropriate time to break out the whiskey. I like to do it about halfway, right before it starts to get really loose. Yeah, so there it is if you want to see it. This stuff is incredibly smooth. It's all aged. And I'm no good at flavor profiles. It's really dry. Like some of them sometimes are really sweet. That one's just really dry. Kind of has a corn flavor to it. Definitely tastes like corn. The caramel notes are really light, but I don't know. If you want some expensive whiskey that you know is going to be good, the Bardstown Discovery Series is one that I fully support. Let's see. I've been working in. So, Ohio Patriot said again, I've been working in Florida almost 3 years now. I hate it here. I only come here. Let's see. I only come home to Erie County every 10 days for a 4-day weekend and then back to Florida, rinse and repeat for the last 2 years. I feel your pain there. I'm one of those people. I don't know. I don't think I've ever talked about it on stream or talked about it on YouTube before. But I grew up in Ohio. I grew up in farming country in Ohio. Like we lived in really close to like Amish country. My grandparents were farmers. I went out to my grandpa's farm every summer, every opportunity I had. I was out playing in the dirt. And then when I was a teenager or whatever, when you're in those years, I was in Boy Scouts and stuff. So I did a lot of camping. I've done a lot of digging in the dirt. I've gone hunting and fishing, and that's kind of how I grew up. I learned how to live off the land in Ohio. Ohio is a special place. Then I went to basic training in Alabama. The things that really stuck out to me about being in Alabama that really bothered me about and just like my overall reasons I don't like the South. And this is what I tell people. It's hot. There's fire ants, and the dirt is not dirt in the South. Ohio has this like rich soil that is dirt. You stick a shovel in it, it's dirt. You know what dirt is. You know that something can grow in that. You go down to the South and it's sand everywhere. Sand or red clay. And there's fire ants in it. And it sucks. Those areas are fine for the people that like it, but I'm very happy with Ohio. I like my seasons. I like my dirt. I like my fresh water. I don't know. I love Ohio. I like the forest, the deciduous trees instead of having palm trees and pine trees everywhere. So yeah, I feel your pain by being in Florida and hating it, but work is work. So you got to do what you got to do. Onyx is another Ohio transplant down to Florida. He's in the Discord server. I see him talking almost every day. I don't chat in the Discord server all that much just because I don't have time. And it's like this chat room here. It's always going. I don't have time to chat in it, but I do peruse the messages occasionally. So I see him always in there talking. Let's see. Alrighty, let's go. Are you guys ready for this other video? Do you want to see it tonight? This one, I don't remember where it was. Let's get into the description here. Probably somewhere in Wisconsin again, because it's back on Blue Cam. But this was a traffic stop. We'll start with the description. On June 14th, 2022, a 53-year-old man fled police twice in less than an hour during a traffic stop for speeding over 100 miles an hour near Prescott, Wisconsin. Police pursued the suspect briefly but terminated it and continued in the area in case of a wreck. A few miles down the road, they discovered the vehicle had crashed. Then he goes on to say that the purpose of these videos is not to ridicule people, just to show you how police interact with people. Tom, thank you for the payday. I really appreciate that. I know how you feel about this stuff, but you're a huge supporter, and I sincerely, I appreciate you. Everything that you've done for me so far. Thank you very much. Let's see. Back in the chat, I saw people mentioning Jeannie, but I haven't seen Jeannie. She hiding? Oh, there she is. Jeannie is another UK resident who is up very late tonight. Let's start this interaction. There was a bunch to this. I forget who it was. I think it was Blue Pepper sent this to me or recommended that I cover this video to talk about the ability to lock somebody up because they need treatment, and not just looking at everything like it's a criminal situation.
On June 4th, 2022, an officer was advised of a white vehicle driving all over the road, in the ditch, and running stoplights in Prescott, Wisconsin. The officer observed the white vehicle enter the city at a high rate of speed. She activated her rear radar and locked the vehicle at 100 miles per hour. When she activated her emergency lights and began following the vehicle, it passed two other vehicles in the no passing zone, went into the right turn lane, but then came to an abrupt stop instead. The driver was identified as 53-year-old Michael Jones.
So this is the kind of video that this would be a training video for new officers. That's the first thing that I thought of when I saw this.
When the officer confronted Michael and asked him questions, he became irritated and started yelling.
Hello, sir. How's it going today? Good. You know why I'm stopping you? Oh, you're going about 100. Okay? You have your driver's license and proof of insurance with it? Is there a reason for the speed? Thank you, sir.
Can I ask you a simple question?
Yes, sir.
Is it acceptable for my speed?
Is it acceptable?
Yeah, like,
No.
like, so why would you ask me that?
Well, I'm just asking you why you're going so fast.
Doesn't matter, right?
Well, I'm just asking a simple question. Do you want me to call you Mr. Jones or Michael? Michael? Okay.
It makes no difference. If you give me a ticket, that's okay.
Okay. So another reason why I also stopped you too. So the county actually got a call about a driving complaint. So someone actually called you in. Okay. They said you were passing a ton of cars on the side roads and going about 100 miles an hour. No?
That's not me. Is that why you stopped me?
I also stopped you because you also were going 100 miles an hour.
Be patient.
I am. I'm being patient with you. You're welcome.
How's it going? What's going on? No, hold on, just assisting on a traffic stop.
What you assisting on?
This traffic stop.
What kind of traffic stop?
The
A
one
hazardous traffic stop or
No.
a person who doesn't have insurance or
No.
what kind of traffic stop? Because I'm
This
paying
is one.
attention. I'm
This
paying
is one.
attention.
Oh, good.
So in this video, and I'm sorry if the volume's not working for some of you, I'm going to try to get OBS working for streaming because the volume on that is much easier to control. For those of you that weren't here in the beginning, I tried to stream with OBS today, which is the way smart people stream. It's just I'm not the most computer literate person in the world, and I screwed it up, and I had to come back over to what am I using? StreamYard. When I finally get OBS working, I promise you the volume will work better. But anyway, with this video, so initially she walks up and she does a very standard approach. I'm Officer Ben. I stopped you today because you were driving 100 miles an hour. Is there any reason why you were driving 100 miles an hour? And he says, well, that's not acceptable, is it? It's a very strange response from a driver. That is when somebody gives you that kind of response, you should immediately be like, there's something else going on here. He also, in my opinion, is slurring his words or is talking like he has a fat tongue. These are signs of impairment or intoxication. These are signs that somebody was driving incredibly fast and is slurring their words and has a thick tongue when they're trying to talk to you. You should probably be considering pulling that person out of the car because they're dangerous in the state that they're in. And the fact that when he pulled over, he pulled in the grass. These are all things that an officer with any kind of experience would have already picked up on and would have acted on. For some reason, they're not doing that in this situation.
Okay. You never said it wasn't. 12 and 13, your status.
Tell him valid. Tell him I ain't no mother black man that's gonna call me.
How about you try and go find it and I'll be right back with you, okay? Perfect. Okay.
It's one of those things too, where the guy, he's acting impaired and she's like, I'll give you time to find that and I'll be right back. I don't know. I wasn't there. But these are things that I see that seem like very apparent to me. Whatever, you mentioned that video with the officer who got bit by the dog. He's perfectly fine. He did miss like a week of work just because he had an open wound. But when you get bit by a dog, they give you like a whole bunch of antibiotics and stuff. So he was fine. He definitely had an injury, but it wasn't anything that he couldn't just heal up. So.
So he won't give me any information, but I got his, but he won't tell me why he's going about 100 miles an hour down the road or anything like that. He said he wasn't the one that was driving erratically anywhere, and he's not going to give me any information. Smells like weed.
What's going on? What? What's going on? What's going on? She asked me what's going on. You asking me stupid questions. I'm trying to get my insurance. Okay. So stop asking me stupid questions. I'm pissed off because y'all playing what? What the y'all want?
All right, so you get out of your car like that, you get put in cuffs immediately. There's no playing around in this situation. Like, this could be very dangerous. He could have a gun on him. Nobody's ever patted him down. He's agitated. He's angry. No. you get out of your, like, the sitting with your legs out like that, I can maybe begin to understand. If you got somebody that's just really upset, you don't want to escalate the situation. They're not harming anybody by sitting that way. If you got officers standing around, that's fine. But once they get out of the car like this, you immediately go in handcuffs. You get put in the back of the car.
You handcuff me, do that. I don't got no problem. This is my job.
Well, gosh, I'm trying so hard. This is part of the problem right here. Take care of your freaking self. Like, I don't know. That's all I'm going to say.
My name is Mike Jones. I got my insurance on my. Y'all keep playing me stupid. I can't find it. What? You want to come on over? 2736, come on back. Let you come on top of the car for me. Come on back. I'm asking you a simple question. My name is Mike Jones.
Police then told Michael they will be searching the vehicle because it smells like marijuana. He claimed he had medical marijuana and was allowed to have it in Minnesota.
Okay, what I know to what you want. Set your phone in the car. What? And then what you want?
For God's sake, these are such danger cues that they're not picking up on. They're really lucky that he didn't have really bad intentions, because he could have beat the crap out of that deputy that's standing there. He has no idea what he's standing in front of. It's nuts. This kind of stuff drives me crazy.
Medical marijuana. You got medical marijuana? So I don't smoke when I'm driving. Okay. You got marijuana in the car? No. Okay. Well, in Wisconsin, it's not legal. I'm not in Wisconsin. So I don't give a fuck. Whatever. I don't give a fuck. You want to do the illegal with a marijuana? Come on, that's crazy. Do that. Come on back. We're just going to put you in the back of the car. Please cooperate. When I do something, you harass me about marijuana in Wisconsin?
Where is it? Teresa, you mentioned it. Yeah, when this guy jumps out of the car and does that. Now, I didn't watch the entire video, but I think I skipped ahead. I think he has cocaine in his system. But when people do this, they're trying to intimidate you. They're trying to take control of the situation. You can't allow that to happen. And that's one of the reasons that people get really pissed off and annoyed with police officers. They call us like bullies and stuff like that. Like, oh, you got picked on when you were a kid, because we don't allow them to control the situation, and that makes people angry. But in a situation like this, yes, it's incredibly important that you control the situation. And in a minute, you're going to see kind of why it's so important.
We're not putting handcuffs on you. We're going to put you in the back of the car while we search the car. What did you say? Right around the corner. Yep, you got to go in the back. On that side. This one right here. You got anything on you? I'm not. Okay. I have nothing. Everything is here. Everything's here. What? This is my medical marijuana. I have a right to have that. Grabbing on me. Don't touch me. Don't touch me. Stop. I'm telling you. Stop. What the f*** I got? Stop grabbing me. You're going to handcuffs real soon. Stop grabbing me. Okay, we're going to pat you down. Put your hands against the car. My hands are up. Put your hands against the car. It's a question.
See, there's like technical things too. There's nothing wrong with raising your voice towards people. This came up in the video I released on the body camera channel today. People were upset that the officer was yelling at that guy. I got no problem with an officer yelling at somebody. The problem is when you're going to be all limp-wristed with somebody and let them control the situation up until this point. You can't just now start yelling at somebody. It's not going to be effective. This is bad. It's really frustrating. Let's see. I have a question. In Ohio, since pot is legal, can you search? Yes. The smell of fresh marijuana still allows you to search the car. What I'm being told through our legal advisors is that the courts are still treating marijuana the same way that they used to treat it. That's the moral of the story on that one.
Not a question. Dude, stop trying to be aggressive with me because I'm going to get pissed off. So I'm telling you, stop being aggressive with me. Y'all trying to do this extra. All right. What are you doing? Put you in handcuffs. For what? You're not being very cooperative. For what? Tell me what you're being detained. Tell me for what? What am I being detained for? You're being detained while we search the vehicle. Okay. Right. Don't. That's what I'm telling you. Don't grab me. We're not. I'm cooperative. I gotta piss. Hold on. I gotta piss bad.
Oh God. Hey Sarah, it's good to see you too. This is a situation too. We just had an academy class graduate. We got a bunch of people. It's their first week out on the street. And it's very hard when you have a bunch of brand new officers because they've learned everything in the academy. So they have the knowledge. But when they're interacting with people, they're trying to figure out how the knowledge connects to reality because there's a big disconnect there. And then another thing that's really strange is for people have to realize that they are the police now, that when you're in a scene, you're in charge of that scene. None of these other people are in charge. And it's really strange if you've never been in that situation before. The other thing is that it's okay to put your hands on people. Sometimes you need to grab a hold of somebody to let them know that you are in control of the situation. I was on a call 2 days ago. There was a some kind of mental patient that was out walking down the street, and she shouldn't have been. The initial officers, one of them was a brand new person right out of the academy, and she's literally on her FTO phase. It was like her second or third day on the street. Um, they're talking to this woman, trying to figure out what's going on with her. She's literally catatonic, staring forward, not answering questions. And at one point, she just was like, you know what? I don't respect these people. I'm going to walk. And this probationary officer just got in front of her and was putting her hands out, like doing one of these, like, don't walk, don't walk, don't walk. And I let it go for a second. And then I just went over and I grabbed this lady. I put her in the escort position. You grab her wrist, you grab this wrist, and then you put your other hand behind the tricep and you hold on to her like this, let her know, hey, you're not going anywhere. And then I leaned in front of her and I said, hey, where do you think you're going? And she told me, she started talking to me all kinds of stuff, that she was trying to get on the bus. She needed money for the bus because she wanted to go downtown. She wanted to go explore. And kind of what snapped her out of her situation was that she realized I was in charge. Getting back to this part of the video, these guys, they're holding both of his hands. They're putting one in cuffs. The other hand is down here below. I know you guys can't see my hands or what I'm pointing at, but his other hand is down here below, and somebody's holding on to it. And then all of a sudden he just starts flailing that arm around. If I was on a run with a new officer and they started doing that, I would jump in and take over that situation. And I would talk to their FTO and make sure that that person got failing grades for the day. These officers are getting failing grades for the way they're letting this guy control the situation.
Shut up. If I wasn't white, you wouldn't stop trying to act like you aggressive, dude. Stop it, please. You know what I'm saying? Stop. You're not there. Please, I'm cooperating. Stop being aggressive. Okay, in the car. Stop trying to push me, mother. Car. Stop pushing me. Hey,
get in the car.
Listen to me. I'm talking to you.
If you don't get in the car, you're gonna catch charges.
Listen to me.
When the guy's like, if you don't get in the car, and then he's like, I forgot what I was gonna say.
You're not talking to me. He's being aggressive. I don't have this bothering me.
Please. 27, 23, 2400, kind of just there.
Y'all pissing me off.
Copy 1 to 1817.
You don't even give a how I feel, do you? You don't give a how I feel. You better get in there, Mike.
Yeah, I'll take that glove back. Yeah, thank you.
Citation warrants these handcuffs on. Huh? Huh? You're not even smart. I got a citation and I got handcuffs like I'm a criminal.
You're being detained.
For what?
Because you're not cooperating with us.
I am. I'm
You're
telling
not.
you every. Give me my. Get in here, please.
No.
Please.
Don't talk to me that way.
Hurry up.
No.
Hurry up. Please. These handcuffs are hurting. Don't put no cameras on now if you ain't been on.
Yeah, they
Don't
are.
start that.
It's not a camera. It's my
What?
printer.
Okay.
I'm still trying to get my printer to freaking print. No, I'm trying to print it off of my printer. I'm going to use your squad for a sec. I'm going to try your squad. What is happening?
What the f are you doing? Let me out! I can't breathe!
There's nothing. What do you need EMS?
Let me out!
Do you need EMS?
You mean I need to get out the car?
Do you need EMS?
Yes. You mean I can't? You put these handcuffs on. I can't breathe. I can't feel my.
Do you need EMS?
Finally. I can't breathe. Give me some assistance.
Do you need EMS?
Yes. Yes. Hurry. Stop. Smart mother, stupid mother. Both of you stupid mother. Put your handcuffs on. I can't. This was stupid. You're an idiot. Idiot. Is it working?
2723, you're unreadable.
Yeah, just stop reading this.
Hey, will you listen? Will you listen? So she's filling out some citation. Give me my ticket and give me the. Are you going to be cooperative if we take you out?
All right.
When officers removed Michael from the squad car and took the handcuffs off, he went to the officer's driver's side window, demanding his citation.
You got these handcuffs so tight. This don't make.
So everything that they've done so far that they've screwed up has been okay. This is where they get to where this becomes unforgivable. This is madness. I can't believe that this happens.
How the handcuffs so tight over a traffic stop? You're not even smart.
Like, without a doubt, this guy, I don't know, everything that he's doing to me appears that he's intoxicated. I would probably go ahead and plan on slating him or arresting him and taking him to jail for operating a vehicle intoxicated. He looks intoxicated to me. They smelled of marijuana. You'd be going to jail. If it turns out that it's some kind of mental health thing, they can figure that out at the jail as well. That's not your responsibility. He needs to be taken off the road. That should be clear to everybody. They're about to release him. I'm blown away by this.
After being told several times to sit in his vehicle, Michael quickly walked over, started his vehicle, and sped off.
So you're going to go in custody, you're going to go to jail if you don't sit in your car.
I'm sorry, but you're a dumbass. If you think you just had a guy in cuffs in the back of the car, you take him out of the car and you take the cuffs off, and then you're going to go and yell at him and threaten to put him in cuffs and put him in the car. Like, I don't understand what's going through these people's heads. This is absolutely insane, and it's to the point where it's just stupid. There's some heavy discipline that came down out of this. There better have been. That's something that I want to know about more after watching this even further, because this is the kind of stuff that will literally get people killed. Not only will it get people on the road killed, but this is the kind of stuff that gets other officers killed and seriously injured, as well as the suspect, the 53-year-old, whatever his name is. With all the danger cues and everything that he's giving you, you had him out of the car, you had him in cuffs, you had him in the back of your car. He was safe in that situation. By taking him out of the back seat, taking the cuffs off of him, and the way he's acting now, he's no longer safe in this situation. Something that he does in the near future might put you in a situation where you're forced to use deadly force. That deadly force would have been a result of your own mistakes, and those kind of things are not acceptable in my view. This is maddening. I would be so pissed off. I'm trying to watch my language, but I would be losing my shit if I saw another officer do this. And I'm not even exaggerating. If I saw you, if people were talking about taking him out of the car and taking the cuffs off him, I would have not allowed that to happen. I would have probably gotten really angry, and I would have said, you know what, put him in my car, and there would have been a lot of F-bombs and stuff. It's maddening.
Can you put my car in it? Go to your car. Can you put my car so I can leave? I'm not for none of it. I'm not going to do nothing. In my car. You mean?
Then screaming, "Do not leave." That's going to work.
Eventually, Michael came to a stop, and officers approached him again. They attempted to remove him from the vehicle, but he locked it and drove off once again.
Why my
Get out of the car.
citation? Why my
Nope,
citation?
get out of the car now.
Why?
Get out of the car.
The other thing that you do in this situation is that you make sure his car is immobilized. He's already taken off from you once. He's shown that he's absolutely batshit crazy. Pull a cruiser in front of his car and make sure that he can't drive away. I don't. These people are not thinking like the police.
Police pursued Michael briefly, but the pursuit was terminated. They continued to check the area in case the vehicle crashed. Sure enough, they discovered his vehicle crashed into a railing, with Michael sitting on a bench next to it.
Looks like he crashed.
Put your hands behind your back now. Turn around.
Why you can't just let me go? I did everything possible. You just let me go.
No, now you are going to jail.
Why you always put things so extra? Why you
Put your hands behind your back.
I'm just saying, why you stop it?
Man, Travis, your question about shouldn't this be a felony stop? With this guy and the way he's acting, I don't think felony stop would have mattered. You're not going to order him back to the car. He was already out of his vehicle and he was sitting on a bench waiting for you. This is actually a perfect example of someone who was compliant when you appropriately put your hands on him and told him what to do. And he was completely non-compliant when he thought he was in charge of the situation. By him driving away and then pulling over and then driving away, crashing, getting out and sitting on the bench, he was trying to show the officers that he's in control of the situation. He's basically telling them, look, I'm only in custody because I'm allowing you to take me into custody. If they would have just grabbed onto him in the first place, none of this would have happened. He's not fighting the officers either. That's something that people need to kind of pay attention to. You don't get to see this kind of stuff very often. I get called to situations about somebody fighting all the time. And then when I get there, I get somebody that's running their mouth. They're yelling and screaming at me. They want to get up in my face. They're being very defiant. And then as soon as I go and I put my hands on them, they do exactly what it is that I tell them to do. A lot of people with mental illness are that way. I mean, you get the ones that fight, but the majority of the time I get stuff like this where it looks very dangerous. It could be very dangerous. It could very easily turn into a violent situation. But if you have proper control, 9 times out of 10, everything's going to kind of work out.
Hey, get in the back of my car.
Hold on, wait. Slow down. I got blood dripping from my
I
nose.
see that. We're getting you EMS.
I told you. Stupid.
Get back in there. What did you hit?
You don't pay attention. You just let me go.
No. Actually, I got it. Got it. Oh, yeah, you gotta go. You hit.
You don't pay attention. You just let me go.
I couldn't tell if he was saying you should have just let me go or you weren't paying attention. You just let me go. That's why I rewinded a little bit there. I couldn't tell exactly what he said.
Actually, I got it. Got it. Oh, yeah, you gotta go on that side.
Want me to start collecting statement forms?
Yeah.
Okay. Hey, did you guys witness the crash or anything?
I think they probably heard it.
Did anyone see the crash? You saw it? Did you fill out a statement form? Okay, just come over here.
Sorry, guys. Yeah, I'm glad you guys are safe. Do you want me to open up the window?
Are you serious? I can't breathe.
Okay, EMS is coming. He's in the back of my squad. Okay. Yeah, he is not cooperative at all.
Okay.
He fled from us. Yes.
Okay.
So
the back pain or whatever.
Oh.
I was listening to something else. Maybe.
Probably something else.
Okay.
This one he just got into a crash because we were chasing him.
Okay.
He said he hit his head, so his nose is bleeding. So, and he said he can't breathe. So.
Hey, sir. Y'all made it acceptable for me to have these handcuffs on excessively. I'm talking about the mother theater and the individuals who put them. These handcuffs are excessive.
Okay.
They're burning into my hand. All right. About repayment. All right. Be professional. Use common sense, mother. Please take them off. Or loosen them so I can breathe. Thank you. All right. So.
No.
Hey, my name is.
No. You're saying.
Then you want to talk.
We're not going to talk.
Okay.
So you don't need EMS?
Michael,
Give me EMS.
I am EMS.
And take me out and do what you need to do.
Okay.
I need to get a physical evaluation.
All right. So you look like you're breathing. Okay. What else is going on?
My head.
All right.
Trauma. So
I do. It's in my squad somewhere.
Yep.
I'll grab
Okay.
it.
Thank you.
I'm not touching you.
Hey, Michael.
What?
I'm Nick, one of the paramedics.
What?
Hey, don't give me a hard time, man.
What?
I'm here to check on you.
What?
How are you hurt?
I'm not hurt. I want these handcuffs off so I can go home.
Okay.
Are we understood?
I hear you.
Are we understood?
I hear you, but
that's where I'm at. Okay?
Your neck doesn't hurt?
They are playing games because they want to play these power games. Okay?
All right, I don't know what's going to go from here, but some of the questions in the comments, Travis said, and you're a medic, I understand this. You're like, what's a medic going to do about that? I will say that there are times where we have to call a medic just to look at somebody because they've been in a crash. And if we don't call a medic, then we'll get in trouble. And the medics that work around where I work, they understand that. And I have a pretty good relationship with the medics. Maybe it's because of my military background and stuff. I understand how these things work and kind of like, I don't know. I'm good at working with people. I'll usually go up to the medic, and when the ambulance pulls up, the guy who's driving is using the EMP or EMT. The guy who's in the passenger seat is usually the actual paramedic. I walk up to the paramedic and I'll say, hey, listen, he was in a crash. He says he hit his head. We just need him evaluated before we take him to jail, make sure he's not going to die. They'll look at him, look in his eyes, get his blood pressure, get his blood sugar, his pulse ox, that kind of stuff. And they'll say, hey, look, he seems to be healthy to us. Would you sign here? We'll sign their little tablet, and then they go. What was the other question? There was some of the chatter, and I wasn't quite sure what it was about, where you said, what would happen to the officers in this situation? If he had killed somebody, they would be in big trouble. They would be subject to termination, I would think. There's some serious negligence there. Dereliction of duty they could be criminally charged out of that kind of situation. This situation, as it is going right now, I can tell you, man, I can't tell you with 100% certainty, but I would be surprised if people were not relieved of duty. If I was a supervisor, I would be pushing for people to have their badge and gun taken during the investigation. I'm not saying that I'm calling for someone to be fired, but I think that this is a serious enough situation that you need to be taken off the street for a little while. You need some time to think about what you're doing while the investigation goes. This is a really major mistake. I don't think that major mistakes like this should be taken lightly. So there's that. Let's see. Let's see. Of course, there is some of the normal stuff sounding like it eliminates. Yeah, if you guys are kind of chatting about the I can't breathe stuff, some of that is, I don't know if it's something that they've just been conditioned to say, or if it's just so automatic that they're like, oh, I can't breathe, that means I'm going to get out of trouble. Um, it's it's been, people have been saying it for so many years though. I think it's just something that people want to say when they're in this state of mind. I don't know.
While searching Michael's belongings, they discovered a steel plate that has "I don't need humans. I'm here for weed" with drug paraphernalia. Jail staff also discovered a white powdery substance in a clear baggie, which tested positive for cocaine.
All right, I'm gonna take your buckle off. Hold on. You can start waiting. All right, step on out. And I'm just gonna stand in front of them.
Michael was charged with felony counts of fleeing, eluding an officer, and second-degree recklessly endangering safety, misdemeanor counts of resisting an officer, possession of cocaine, and possession of THC. His signature bond was at $10,000 with conditions of not possessing controlled substances without a valid prescription.
So apparently in Wisconsin, you can be charged with a misdemeanor for being in possession of cocaine. That's a new one to me. That's madness. Yeah, when that one was sent to me, somebody said, this might be a good example of when you should take mental health into consideration or something like that. Watching that video from the beginning for me, because I started to watch it and I kind of skipped ahead because I like to watch these things live so you get like my genuine reaction. From the get-go, I thought the guy was intoxicated. So I would have been looking for a way to get him out of the car, get his car impounded, and make sure he's not driving. That would have been my goal. If he didn't smell like alcohol and I didn't have any indicators that it was alcohol, I'm not trained to evaluate somebody who's intoxicated on something other than alcohol. So I could call somebody to scene, or if I clocked him doing 100 miles an hour on somewhat residential areas, I think the streets they were on were like 55-mile-an-hour zones, 50 to 55. I would have probably charged him with reckless op and towed his car and given him his ticket and taken him home or taken him to a hospital. Based on what I saw in the beginning, that would have been kind of my thought process. When he started acting out so violent isn't the right word, because he wasn't necessarily being violent, but he was violently complaining. And especially when he's kicking and stuff in the back of the car, that would have changed the situation where I would have definitely been thinking about taking him to a hospital, specifically a hospital with a lockdown ward, because he was acting so out of it. So I don't know. Those are my thoughts on that particular video and kind of what I would have done in that situation. I never would have let him back out of cuffs. Never let him back towards that car. I don't know. That stuff just boggles my mind. It's absolutely madness. Let's see. Some people are starting to go. Jeff, thanks for coming by, man. You're always here. You're always early. So you're allowed to leave early. It's okay. I got about 10 more minutes. If you guys had anything else you wanted me to bring up. If you asked a question I didn't get to it, you might want to ask it again. One of the things I saw, Spencer asked if you could put spike strips in front of the car to keep it from going anywhere. You can do stuff like that, but it doesn't stop the car from driving. You can drive on flat tires. It's just you're more likely to crash and you can't drive as fast. So I would put a vehicle, like when he initially pulled over again, I would have put a vehicle in front of his car. Either pull up, use your push bumpers, or, man, I hate to do that, but pull up in front of it and back in. But I would have done a big U-turn. When, you got that cruiser with the lights and sirens on, you own the road, do a big U-turn in the middle of the road, pull up in front of him, box that car in. I have never thought about becoming a DRE. I never will become a DRE. That's the end of that. I don't do a lot of OVIs. I can fumble my way through one if I have to. there are federal grants. Then this is something a lot of people don't understand is that a- when there's federal money for law enforcement, people think, oh, they're helping fight crime. That federal money is normally tied to a specific purpose. Right now, in the jurisdiction I work in, one of the biggest federal grants that we have is a OVI, or a drunk driving interdiction type thing. They are paying for overtime for officers, and they give the department a boatload of money. So what that means is that we have officers who are pulled off the street and they do nothing but drunk drivers. So if I pull over a car or I'm dealing with a crash and I think that my person is drunk, um, I can get on the air and ask for an OVI special, and one of those cars will slide by. I'll take care of the crash. They'll take care of the drunk driver part. A lot of those guys are DRE. Um, what that means is that I lose practice on how to deal with those cases, but at the same time, those guys are experts, so they can handle it for me. But as far as the more advanced stuff, no, I'll never do that. Let's see. That one, I know that officer personally. I have his phone number. I've already spoken to him, so I will be getting that body camera footage. There was a tractor or a semi that crashed. That had a bunch of cows in it, and they got loose on the interstate last night in the city. I haven't typed up the request yet, but it's going. What is DRE? I don't know what the acronym stands for, but basically it's I should Google it. It's probably easy to Google, but it's basically officers who can decipher what somebody is intoxicated by. So they run additional tests and they can tell if somebody's on cocaine or fentanyl or heroin, something like that. They can tell what this person is impaired with other than alcohol, because most officers, when you go through your basic OVI training, are just trained on how to interpret if someone is intoxicated on alcohol. That's what my training is. Now, if I see somebody that's high on other things, I'll know that they're high, but I can't tell you specifically what they're on or how much they've had. So let me see. Trying to scroll up. What else is there here? Officer 401 and I have talked a few times about body camera stuff, and on my other channel. I don't know that he's aware that I even have this channel, and I've not talked to him about doing any kind of working together. But I would like to. He's similar to me, I think, where we're both kind of just regular dudes talking about this stuff, and don't get we don't follow the hype train, and we're not trying to be something we're not. Like, I'm not trying to be a comedian when I'm not a comedian. I'm just a regular police officer telling you my thoughts from a regular police officer. I think he is very much that same thing. So, yeah, it was funny. One of the officers rode on the front of a cruiser with some kind of lasso, and they roped a cow. So I'll be getting that video as soon as I can. It'll take me weeks. Let's see. My great officer. He said, if you're in a car and you want to wave an officer, there's a lot of stuff like this that I want to call like urban legends and stuff, that there might be a hint of truth to it, but it's not like generally accepted. So it says, my grandpa was a retired New York State trooper, and he said if you're in a car and you wave at an officer, he'll think it's a kidnapping. No. You can wave at me all you want. I'm not going to think it's a kidnapping. And honestly, I might not even see it. That's kind of like the people saying, oh, I heard that if you call and order a pizza, they'll know this. There have been some stories of some stuff like that happening. And because of social media, that stuff has spread. There's been more cases of people kind of mimicking that. Some of the more serious cases, some of them were not. But it's not like an overall generally accepted thing. And there's also a lot of fake stuff out there. Like if you go to the bank and you put your pin in backwards, that's going to set off an alarm. That's 100% fake. I know that as a police officer, and I know that from working in a bank before I became a police officer. So there's a lot of stuff like that that's out there that I don't know. I don't necessarily follow. Let's see. Gloves. You guys are cracking me up. Where are the cows? It was on 270 on the southwest side. I don't know, between Georgesville and Grove City, I believe. I'm not 100% sure about that. I don't have the location right now. I just have the incident number and the officers. Let's see when. Which person are we talking about? I'm not sure who Man in the Mountain is. You're the second person to bring this up. And I apologize for being ignorant to this. But I don't know who you're talking about. I know that there was a lot of Ella French talk in the chat a little bit ago. I don't have the date memorized for when the Ella French incident happened, but I did see it on my Facebook the other day in my memories. I don't know. The fallen officer stuff, I would like to do more stuff for fallen officers. The problem, unfortunately, is that they've been happening so quickly that by time I was able to put together something for one, there'd be probably 2 or 3 more. And I don't want to get into a situation where I'm honoring some officers and not all officers. So I'm kind of just not doing it. If something comes across social media and I feel like it's really good, a good example that I want to share, I will. Like the guy in Indiana recently who was only on for like 11 months or something like that. He seemed like a good looking kid. He was just out doing his community, doing the work that he was expected to do. And it's just really tragic when it's someone that's young like that. And he was a combat veteran, from what I understand. Those things, when they come across, I'll share them. It's like if you follow, is it Johnny Castro or the Castro guy that does all the paintings? I thought about doing like a weekly video where I just take his paintings and I read his write-up. Just do almost like a slideshow. Like I put the picture up and I use my voice because people like my voice to read the write-ups about them. I thought about doing that. It's just I don't know that I have the time to do it justice. So I kind of just do my thing. That is that one is in December. That's December 10th. You're talking about my buddy that I died on my last day of missions when I was in Iraq. December 10th, 2003 was the day that he died. That's the date for that. So it's still a little ways off. We're only halfway through the year. All right. It's about 9:00. I think we've wound down. I enjoyed tonight's stream. I think we had good videos to go over. I really appreciate Code Blue Cam. He commented on my thing when I said we were going to go over his video. That was really cool of him. His channel is way bigger than both of my channels combined. My body camera channel is at I don't know, 182,000 subscribers. I looked at, he's right here. He has 859,000 subscribers. That is a ton. I don't know when he posted his first video. Can I sort this way? Oldest to newest. A year ago? That's messed up. He's only been doing this for a year and he has 800 and some thousand subscribers. I've been doing this for 2 years. People need to give me some love. I don't know. He does great work. He has a good channel. I enjoy his stuff. So I'm glad that he has the content that I can share with you guys on stream, and also the Cleveland area body camera. I know for a fact that he started doing what he was doing because of what I do here in Columbus. So it's pretty cool that I get to share this kind of content. It's a lot easier to use their content than it is to use mine. So let's see what you do. Blah, blah, blah. It's like, thank you for your service. And you guys already know how I feel about that. Yeah. Some of you guys have been watching for a very long time. It's cool. Like, I still recognize the names, even though some of you keep changing your names. Luckily, you don't change your name and your profile picture at the same time very often, because that I would just lose my mind. Jacob, here's a question. Why is Cincinnati and Columbus changing their uniforms to black? I can tell you that Columbus, hey, I got a celebrity in here. That's cool. The reason Columbus is changing their uniforms to dark is twofold. One, there's a new chief, and the new chief wanted dark uniforms. Two, um, exterior vest carriers became available for Columbus police officers. They tested the white versions, but the white version of the way the exterior vest carrier, it just looks like crap. So they said, you know what? If we're going to go to the external plate carriers, we have to go to a dark color. So that was the main reason that they changed. So, you know what? I think I'm going to go out on a high note by having a celebrity from the state of Wisconsin stop into my stream and leave a comment. That's what we're going to do. I'm used to being the big dog around, and it's nice to see somebody else that has had some success stop in and say hi. So, I don't know. We're going to leave it there. Thanks for everyone that come and hang out. I do appreciate it. You guys are a lot of fun. I enjoy doing these things and kind of walking you through my feeling on some of these videos. So hope you enjoy it. Tell your friends. And next time, maybe we'll have a few more people in here. I'll talk to you guys later.